Hey guys, what's going on? It's Talk Forest TV here, back again with the Talk Forest news. To my left on the screen, it is Luke.
Good evening.
Or as Patrick calls him, part-time Luke. But it is Luke from Turton Talks Football. So it is on Facebook, it is on YouTube as well. So do give him a follow on there. But as usual, it seems to be another busy day at the City Ground in terms of speculation and with Landell coming on to the EFL board. So we were all touching that because that just seemed to happen this last hour or so. So what are your thoughts to it, Luke?
I mean, I'm one of these where I never particularly liked it when the Derby guy was on the EFL board. I didn't like it when I'm not one of these people that likes to have people that are in a club, in a league that's got the club in it. I think if you're going to run something as big as the EFL, you have to have a group of people that, yeah, all right, they have the knowledge of Nicholas Randall, but they're not in a club, because then it takes away totally the bias of, oh, they're going to be favoriting this club or they're going to be favoriting that club because they work there.
Yeah, so it's quite an interesting one. That one, I mean, it just goes to show that with Derby being in it for that long now, to try to change that Forest in it. So it's just a shame that it happened now instead of 3 weeks ago when that financial thing happening with the club. Obviously, there have been bits and pieces of transfer news as per usual. We're not sure if Forest going to do a late one tonight like they did last night, but you never know with Forest.
I mean, literally, we were speaking on my channel probably about 2 hours before on how inactive Forest were in the window, and I bantered a load of the guys in the second half of the show because they were all going, yeah, we've signed 3 people, but we've not been that busy. And I was like, yeah, but we've not made any signings yet. And I come off the stream, I play FIFA for an hour, I go back into the league chat. It's like, have you seen this? They're making a signing. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Then I find out it's a goalkeeper. And I mean, I have seen the most craziest bit of speculation, right? Apparently, Olympiacos is signing their number 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah, I've seen that.
We've just signed a goalkeeper. Stranger things have happened than Forest selling their players to Olympiacos.
I mean, there was that sort of speculation going around this morning about with Forest signing Ethan Hofarth that we were going to sell Bryce Samba to Olympiacos. That was like the newest rumour that we're speculating this morning. Which
I just wish our transfers would actually make some kind of logical sense. Because the one position we did not need a player for was a goalkeeper. So what did Forest go and do first? Sign a goalkeeper. And I'm well aware of the fact that if these players are available and the deals can be done fairly quickly, get them done. But at the same time, we all know with Forest, it's not as easy as, oh, we've made this player, we've signed this player now, but we have this player to come in later in the window. We don't do that. We go and fill our squads with kind of duplicate repeats.
It does make you think as well, especially with it was Shelby that going out on loan and Diallo going out. I was saying to you yesterday about it, saying that with them two going and possibly Jordan Wright going out on loan, that needing three first team goalkeepers, and especially with Holdorf coming into 23s, it does make you think having an extra goalkeeper there with some bit of pedigree. and we faced that way to actually push Sandwell, because Sandwell's not really been pushed since Muritz's been here, and that season Sandwell that player of the season there now.
But to me, you can have competition, but what does Jordan Smith have to do to nail down the second goalkeeping spot? I mean, you've had Muric, you had Jallo come in last season, which arguably should have been number 2. I mean, Jordan Smith's a decent keeper if you coach him right and you make it simple and you don't try and do all these stupid distribution kicks to the edge of the technical, the kind of touch lines, and the touch lines have been brought too far in, etc., etc. But I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm the same too. With get your comments coming in the chat as well. But obviously it's one that brought a bit of a lot of people sitting on the fence, a lot of people finding it very negative, and a lot of people finding it quite positive, which it is understandable in a way that we're filling up our squad now, which is, but then in another way, it's making us think what's happening with the squad that, well, Jordan Smith more than out. What does he have to do?
I don't mind us filling up the squad if we do it in the right way. If I see another 20 Jack Colbacks come into the club, I will literally disband the whole Forest talk for the whole year.
I mean, he's 26 as well, which he's at a good age, to say the least, because it's not 30 and he's not a kid. He's at that sort of age where he's going to be getting into his prime now. I mean, for goalkeepers can play for years, but I mean, he's 26, so he's just about to get into his prime now.
You see, we're not going to sign. I don't think we're going to sign anybody above 26.
Nah.
Dane Murphy has a record of signing players between 22 and 26. So if anybody's above 26, you can more or less wave bye-bye to them this kind of transfer window on the short list, which brings me on to John Hugill. I don't think that's a striker we'd be looking for. I mean, is Jordan Hugill any different to Lewis Grabban and Lyle Taylor?
Not really.
If you want a goal scorer, you go hell for leather at Lewis Grabban and go get an absolute grip of yourself, get a better attitude, and actually score the level of goals you scored 2 seasons ago, not the level you were performing at for the whole season last season, which was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Next.
Obviously, there was a bit of a report going around today about Flynn Downs. Trent Hudson just seemed to be someone that just started out in like reporting all that on his part, saying that he's studying media and all that at I think it's Derby University, and he's following all the EFL, especially Forest. He's reported saying that that we have made contact with Flynn Downs. Ipswich over Flynn Downs over a move to the City Ground. I mean, I know I mentioned it yesterday about it with it being Football Insider 24/7, that they're not the most reliable source for Forest. But I mean, Trent Hudson said it today that apparently we made contact with Ipswich, and he's not really with Football Insider, so it makes you think. Now it said it from another source, are we starting to move forward with it? What do you think about that?
Flynn Downs. I mean, has someone been looking through my old Football Manager saves or something? Because literally, one by one we're picking off players that I signed like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like, yeah, we'll go for them now. We'll go for them now. And we'll try and go for them, but don't give them enough time to actually bed into anything useful before we offload them to this club. I just... Everybody raves about M.I. Hughes, Teddy Bishop, etc. from Ipswich. I was flint down. I was like, you've got to look at it, and he's got the most potential to become something better in the midfield. I mean, I don't exactly know how he's been doing it at Ipswich, so I mean,
yeah.
But we definitely need to do something to kind of energize that midfield and to more as energize the fans, because I feel like the fans have become pretty bored of Colback square to Arthur, square to Yates kind of football.
Yeah. Obviously, that I never really watched them, to be fair. So the last 2 days where I started to see his name, I'd kind of really sort of taken note about him. So I'm not really 100% on him, if that makes sense. So it's a new one. Obviously, the Cian Fleming, that's the same one I'm not really sure about, but it's been it was on his club's Twitter feed that spotted it that he is obviously we're after him. A lot of people saying that we were close to getting him on their Twitter feed today, saying that he has been seen posting for the third Cadar in Champions League. So, and a lot of people putting 2 and 2 together and saying that we might not be after him now. So, so we don't know what's happening with that one.
Yeah, but Jordan Gabriel posed in our home shirt last season and then went on loan to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Just because you get somebody to pose in a photo wearing a shirt doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to a different club. I mean, me or you could pose for a photo. It doesn't mean we're doing a collab, does it? I mean, I'm sure if Lionel Messi decided to put a forest top on for 5 minutes, people would actually get excited.
Yeah. Probably would do, to be fair.
We had to wait until they're actually fully in Nottingham, in the City Ground, wearing a shirt, doing that transfer video they did yesterday. You know, until those things start to happen, they aren't our player anyway. So
I was going to touch on about Jordan Gabriel as well, because Blackpool's manager Neil Chorley, if I got it right, Critchley, that's it, Critchley, been talking about Jordan Gabriel and another guy from Sunderland, saying that he knows that they have gone back to their parent clubs now and they are done trying to press to stay at the club, and he's just going to wait till like August time when the football season does start before he probably will make the move for them, which understandable, because I imagine that a lot of clubs will do that with the loan players, like we are with James Garner.
Oh, here we go. I don't think Blackpool are going to get either of them, Embleton or Gabriel. Embleton is going to play in the Sunderland side this season. They need invigorating in midfield. They let him go and he was absolutely brilliant for Blackpool. Why would they not keep him? He's a Sunderland guy at heart anyway. Well, it's either going to be Sunderland or Blackpool. That's really kind of Embleton's remit. Gabriel, I mean, we've got to sign a right back first, because, I mean, you've kind of got Gabriel, Jenkinson, and Richardson. I mean, Richardson's not had a look in for ages at the first team. Gabriel had about 4 games before they shipped him out to Blackpool. Jenkinson's not even wanted. So, I mean, can we really afford to let Gabriel go without a replacement? I don't think so.
And I can't see Forest trying to keep both Richardson and Gabriel. But, well, fair enough. Well, and that experienced defender now, McKenna is. Fig, you don't know if he's going to stay or not. So, obviously, it'd be nice to get some sort of fair enough. Not like a 30-year-old defender, but someone who's been about in the Championship for a couple of years to help the younger lads.
I'd just like anybody between 23 and 25. I mean, that can grow. I mean, I'm bored of all of this. Let's go and get a player that's been in the Premier League. Beep, beep, beep. I just am.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been sounding like it has been a bit of a busy afternoon in terms of Forest and a couple of transfer talks. Obviously, if something will happen tonight, it will happen tonight. It might be midnight when Forest posts something nowadays.
I will put money on it being when I stop checking everywhere and I want to actually go to bed. Because yesterday, I just about had enough of yesterday anyway. And they go, new arrival imminent, everyone. And I was like, oh, God. Cue meltdown everywhere.
But yeah, I'd like to say thank you. Point backwards now. Thank you to Luke for coming on to the show.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me, Dan. I appreciate it.
Yes, I'd like to say thank you for you guys for watching as per usual. I'd like to say thank you for watching.